The project accounting module in Dynamics GP allows you easily to set up and manage fixed fee projects. Let's take a look how I can set up a simple project, I can bill it, I can recognize revenue on it as well. The first thing we can do is set up a new project. I'm going to go to Cards, Project and Contract, look up a customer here, enter a new contract ID. This is going to be a fixed fee contract, so I'm going to say fixed price here. It's going to cost to cost, which means revenue will be recognized based on the cost incurred so far compared to the budget. I'm going to set up a new project ID here. And now I'm going to drill down and add some budgets. Let's add cost categories here. This is going to be a consulting project, so I'm going to add the consulting category. I'm going to budget at a unit cost of $45. The profit amount per unit will be $55, which means I'm going to bill out basically at $100 an hour. I'm going to have 100 hours in here. And you can see then that the total cost becomes $4,500. The total amount of the project, which is the amount I'm going to bill out to the customer, is $10,000. Let me hit OK here. Now what I want to do is I want to add employees to this project. I'm going to hit Access List. I'm going to use the wizard here to add employees to this project that will be able to bill to it. I'm going to select all the employees here, hit OK, I hit Save. Go back to the contract record. I'm going to open this project up for transactions. It's going to roll that down to the project and the cost categories. Let me save that. Now the next thing I want to do is add a timesheet entry to this particular project. So let me do that here. I'm going to add a timesheet for this particular employee. Let's look up the project number. Here it is. Let's look up the cost category ID, consulting. I'm going to add 8 hours to this day. I can also add another entry for another day to the same cost category. Put 4 hours in. So here it's going out to the employee card, the employee master file, pulling in the actual rate to be charged to the particular project. Let me post that now. I'm going to post that transaction. It's now a transaction for that particular project. Now the next thing I want to do is go through the revenue recognition process. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a batch process that will look at all my fixed fee projects and create revenue recognition transactions for those projects. Let's go to Transactions, Project, Revenue Recognition here. And again, I'm going to use a batch process and a monthly cycle ID that I've set up previously. Let me change the date to the end of April. Up a log file here. I'm going to do this by contract, so let me process that. Now let's take a look at the results. If we go to Transactions, Project, look up the Revenue Recognition transaction. Here's the transaction right here. This is for the new project we just set up and for that timesheet that we entered. If I highlight that, I can drill down and see what it's doing. It's calculating the percent complete at 10.88%. Again, that's based on the actual amount against the budget of $4,500. And it's going to recognize $1,000 on that particular contract. So I'll hit OK. Let's take a look at the distributions here on this particular project. It's going to hit Work in Process, Project Expenses, and also it's going to recognize the revenue on that and the billings and earnings and excessive billings. Because we have not yet billed it, we're just recognized the revenue. So let's hit OK on that. Then I'm going to take that out of the batch and post it. So the next thing I want to do is, I've recognized the revenue on this, but now I'm going to go back and actually bill this out to the customer. So I'm going to use the batch process again for billing. Use the cycle builder process here. Have different project or cycle IDs. I'm going to enter my dates, create a log file here, and create invoices by contract. So let's process that. It's gone through all my projects and build those projects which need to be billed. Now let's take a look at the specific transactions that were created. Look at my billing entries here. Look at this new document that was created. Here's the transaction here. Here's the billing transaction, and it billed the revenue that was recognized. So let's take a look at the invoice for that. I can easily print the invoice here. And in project accounting, I can have multiple invoices or multiple documents print out here. Let's just print out the standard one. You can take a look at that. There's probably about 20 standard ones that come with the system. Here's an invoice here. Here's an expanded document that shows a little bit more information on that. So now I can just go ahead and post this if I want to. Next thing I wanted to show you was the inquiry ability in project accounting. So if I go to inquiry here, go to projects, corporate, I've got all my customers and all a rolled up summary information about the particular projects I have with these customers. Let's highlight Aaron Fitz here, drill down on that. I've got a number of different projects with Aaron Fitz. Here's the one that we've been working with here. Let's drill down on that. We can see the particular project here. And again, you can see the summary values for each project, the specific project here. And I can drill down into that project, get more information on that. I can drill down to the cost categories here. Here's the cost category consulting. I can drill into that. It's going to keep track of the baseline budget. I can also add forecasts throughout the project if I wanted to. It's going to keep track of the actual amounts billed. And here you can see I have 2 timesheets against this particular project. I can drill back in and see the document. In this case, this is the timesheet that we just entered. I can also, from these screens, print out a report, a hard copy report. Let's just print that out here. And this gives you an example of some of the data that's collected in the project accounting module. I always have my budget. I'm going to have my costs. It'll recognize revenue, and you see that information here. And this is pretty typical of the reports in project accounting. So project accounting is a pretty powerful tool in Dynamics GP. We looked at a fixed fee project here. You can see how you can easily do that. You can add as much complexity to these projects as you'd like. It's very flexible in that nature. So if you haven't looked at project accounting, you might take a look at it and see if you can use it in your business.